The early morning haze still clung to the city streets as the rumble of motorcycle engines echoed down the empty roads. The Central Security Office, CSO, was located on the outskirts of the city, a concrete fortress overseeing critical government facilities, federal archives, and sensitive data centers. No one came near this building unless they had a reason, and most people knew better than to provoke the security forces stationed there. But that day, a rough and tumble biker gang known as the Rogue Vultures decided they wanted to make a statement. The leader, Sam Grizzly Daniels, had spent years building a reputation for himself and his crew muscular, tattooed men and women who rode Harleys like a pack of wolves. They'd recently gotten into smuggling weapons and cybercrime, using their bikes to transport illegal goods through various checkpoints. Grizzly had heard rumors about a new batch of high-tech security equipment stored at the CSO, and he thought it would be easy to intimidate the office staff into handing over the goods. They rolled in without hesitation, their bikes roaring as they pulled up to the gates. The CSO guards, many of them former military personnel, had seen their share of troublemakers. But today, they would face something different, a threat that wasn't just about breaking in. This was about underestimating the wrong person. At the front desk of the CSO sat Sergeant Michael Mack O'Reilly, a former Marine turned federal security officer. Mack wasn't the biggest guy, nor the loudest, but his reputation for never backing down had earned him respect. He was quiet, disciplined, and sharp, qualities he had honed through years of service overseas in some of the most dangerous places in the world. But now, his mission was to protect the very building that housed some of the country's most sensitive operations. And that's exactly what he intended to do. When the Rogue Vultures pulled up, the front gate buzzed open, and the gang poured into the parking lot, their engines growling like beasts. Grizzly stepped up to the main door with a swagger. Flanked by two of his toughest crew members, "Got a little business to discuss with your higher-ups," Grizzly said to Mack, his voice thick with arrogance. "We're not here to cause trouble. Just here to take what's ours." Mack, who had been observing the bikers from the security desk, leaned forward slightly. His expression remained unreadable. He had dealt with threats before, drug lords, cartel members, even corrupt officials, but the arrogance in Grizzly's tone suggested that this wasn't just about breaking in. It was about testing boundaries. "I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, Sir." Mack replied calmly, his fingers hovering over the security button. "This is a restricted area. You don't belong here." Grizzly chuckled darkly, turning to his crew. "Looks like we've got a tough guy here. Think he's gonna stop us?" "We're not just gonna roll out." He stepped closer, raising his voice. "You don't get it, do you? The people in there don't own this place." "We do. You're just rent-a-cops. We'll have the whole building in 10 minutes. Mack's gaze never wavered, but he noticed Grizzly's two henchmen moving to flank him. He remained calm. He had been trained to handle situations just like this. "I don't care who you think you are, but you're not taking anything from here," Mack said firmly. "I'll give you one chance to walk away." Grizzly stepped forward, practically nose to nose with Mack. "You gonna make me?" he growled without warning. Mack reached under the desk, his fingers finding the small device that controlled the building's lockdown system. In one swift move, he activated the security lockdown, and all the doors in the building slammed shut, locking the bikers inside. Grizzly's smug grin faltered as he realized what had just happened. The entire building was sealed off, and the emergency response team had been alerted. There was no escape now. "Guess that's the end of your little business venture," Mack said, his voice as cold as the steel doors around them. "You should have left when you had the chance." The bikers looked around, now realizing they were trapped. Grizzly's bravado began to crack. But before he could do anything, Mack had already moved, calm, controlled, and efficient. He didn't need to fight them head-on. He knew how to use his environment to his advantage. One of Grizzly's men lunged at him, But Mack dodged the attack and countered effortlessly, flipping the biker onto the floor. With a quick, well-placed move, another biker tried to make a break for it, but Mack blocked the exit with a well-aimed shot from his stun gun, taking him down without causing serious harm. Within minutes, the rest of the bikers were disarmed, and subdued Grizzly, now panting and sweating, glared at Mack. "This isn't over," he muttered. "You'll pay for this." Mack stood over him, unfazed. "I'm not the one who started this, but I'll make sure it's over," he said. The backup team arrived shortly after, federal officers rushing in to take control of the scene. Grizzly and his gang were arrested and taken away in handcuffs, their dreams of a quick score shattered. As the last of the bikers were escorted out, Mack watched them through the security monitor. He didn't feel any triumph. For him, it was just another day on the job, one where he had to remind someone that messing with the wrong person wasn't just a mistake. It was a dangerous game, and in the world of high-stakes security, the price of underestimating the wrong soldier was always too high. Key themes. Underestimating the wrong person. The bikers think they can easily intimidate a lone security officer, but they don't realize the depth of Mack's training and experience. Calm in the face of danger, Mack remains composed and strategic, using his knowledge and environment to neutralize the threat. Protection and duty. Mack takes his role seriously, ensuring that the building and its contents stay secure despite the challenge.